Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Misinformation or just a mistake? The case of a false date on a political ad has gone all the way to the state attorney general. We are now just 21 days away from Election Day. The 7th congressional district race just got hotter, maybe for the wrong reasons.
Republican Tom Barrett took out an ad in a black-owned newspaper to encourage black voters to pick him over his Democratic opponent, Curtis Hertel. The problem, though, the ad features the wrong date for Election Day, which we want to be clear is the 5th of November. Local 4's Shantae Passmore is live with how the Barrett campaign is responding to all this. Shantae?
Hey there, at first glance, when you look at this ad, it's almost easy to overlook the misprinted date right there. You see right there behind the Michigan Bulletin. Tonight, Tom Barrett's camp is calling this a proofing error. Meanwhile, the AG's office is saying the allegations are deeply troubling and issued a cease and desist letter to the campaign.
A misprint or something more. The full-page Tom Barrett ad behind the Michigan Bulletin appears fine until...
This is not right. The voting thing is November the 5th, but it says November the 6th.
The Republican candidate in the 7th congressional district race placed the ad in the black newspaper which covers the Lansing area. The publisher tells Local 4 the paper's circulation is about 30,000 readers, meaning many saw the flub. A campaign spokesperson blames it on human error.
I think it's people taking advantage of a simple mistake and trying to turn it into something it's not.
Mistakes do happen. However, the Michigan Legislative Black Caucus noticed Barrett placed a similar ad in a Lansing alternative weekly paper with the correct date. The lawmakers filed the complaint at the state and county levels.
We cannot take these types of incidents lightly. The more we ignore misinformation or the oops, we just so happen to, I just think that it's a dangerous precedence that we can set.
The Michigan Bulletin's publisher told me a correct ad will run in the next edition. Still, many are asking, how did the wrong date make it to print?
I contacted the campaign. The campaign told me that it was an honest mistake, that they had a template that for the primaries that said August 6th, and they changed the August to November without changing the 6th.
Despite the misprint discovery, the botched ad in the paper sat on the newsstands for days. Some black voters think it's too early to tell if any damage is done.
You know, you can Google it, you can call the local voting places and confirm.
For other voters, they still question the motive.
Oh, I wouldn't even put it out there if it's not true, and the people who did it, they got to know what they're doing.
And the campaign team for Democratic candidate Curtis Hertel said in a statement, our campaign is working hard to ensure that voters are not confused by this misleading advertisement and are able to make their voices heard on Election Day. Meanwhile, we have the complaint and cease and desist letters on clickondetroit.com if you want to read it. And again, just a reminder, Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th, which of course is the first Tuesday of November. Reporting live tonight, Shantae Passmore, Local 4.
Okay, Shantae, we appreciate it. And we do want to let you know some new numbers from the Secretary of State's office show hundreds of thousands of Michigan voters have already voted absentee. Jocelyn Benson says 2.1 million absentee ballots have been requested, and of those, nearly 675,000 have been submitted. So that means the state already has 31% of absentee ballots returned. In the last presidential election year of 2020, 34% had been returned at the 3-week mark, but that number is likely inflated due to the pandemic.
Tonight, employees with the health department in Pontiac are speaking out about an alleged health crisis in their own building. We're talking about bed bugs. Employees working in the state building on Woodward Avenue sharing their stories and disturbing photos of bugs in their work areas and more. Our consumer investigator Hank Winchester is in Pontiac with a closer look. Hank.
Let me take you inside here to the Department of Health building in downtown Pontiac. Now, the alleged bed bug problem, the infestation, well, it's taking place up a few floors, and it's got those working here very concerned.
These are photos of bed bugs and bed bug traps. Employees here at the Department of Health building in downtown Pontiac saying the building has a health issue of its own. bed bugs.
I have saw multiple bugs in the building, myself on desks and on the cubicle walls.
This employee, who asked us not to reveal their identity, concerned about what's happening inside the building and what this employee and others could be bringing home.
My concern is the health and safety violation that it is. I mean, it's a huge health issue. I mean, there's been employees bitten, and I mean, they could have so many different diseases. I mean, there's so many underlying health problems with having bugs in the office.
In these emails sent from managers, confirmation that there are bed bugs in the building, but also news that spraying has been done. For many, though, here, they believe that enough is not being done to control the problem and put an end to it once and for all.
I think that the whole building needs to be closed down for an actual thorough clean of the whole building. I mean, I don't think just certain floors should be taken care of. I think every floor needs to be taken care of, and I think that it's wrong that the whole, the public and every floor hasn't been notified of the issue.
And you understand the concern there clearly, not only for the employees, but remember, this is an open state building. There are many members of the public in there every day seeking help from the state and from the health department. I did reach out to the state of Michigan today. I was told they're looking into this matter. The goal here, though, is to make sure those working in that building feel like it's a safe working environment. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester, help me, Hank. Back to you.
Tough stuff. All right, Hank.
Walgreens has announced the closure of several hundred more of its stores. The list includes about 1,200 locations, with 500 closing over the next year. The company has not said which locations will be impacted, including those in Metro Detroit, but it's a staggering escalation from previous statements. A few months ago, the drugstore chain announced it was shutting down 300 underperforming locations as part of a multi-year optimization program. Well, this new plan means by the year 2027, about 1 in 7 Walgreens, which are currently open, will close.
We know, of course, high blood pressure is linked to a higher risk of a host of cardiovascular problems, one of which is stroke.
The question is, how high is too high, and should people of color be especially careful of their blood pressure, since we all know strokes are more common in minority communities? Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with new research from the University of Michigan. Doc?
Yeah, Kim and Evan. So, one of the things this study found was that blood pressure control, particularly of the systolic blood pressure, that's the top number, is important regardless of a person's race or ethnicity. But because Black and Hispanic people are more likely to have undiagnosed and untreated high blood pressure, awareness is especially important.
The main finding of our study is that higher sustained systolic blood pressure levels over time are associated with substantially higher risks of the 2 most common types of stroke, ischemic stroke and intracerebral hemorrhage. For every 10-point higher mean systolic blood pressure levels above normal, the risk of ischemic stroke is increased by 20%, and the risk of intracerebral hemorrhage is increased by 30%.
Dr. Deborah Levine is a professor of internal medicine and neurology at the University of Michigan. She says blood pressure control remains a poorly managed health problem.
The reasons we haven't seen improvements in blood pressure control in the United States over recent years are unclear, but likely relate to rising rates of obesity, difficulty accessing physician care, and trouble affording medications and medical care. I see a lot of patients in practice who need to have more attention about their blood pressure. High blood pressure is the most important risk factor for stroke, and it is important for patients to be monitoring their blood pressure at home.
Now, as a reminder, high blood pressure is greater than 130/80, measured on 2 or more occasions. Now, home blood pressure monitors are not terribly expensive. In fact, you can find reliable ones for about $30 to $50. Now, if you don't have a home monitor, most pharmacies also offer blood pressure checks for free.
Remind us about the symptoms of a stroke. What are they? I remember it's like a little catchy thing you say.
Right. So the acronym is FAST, and so F stands for face, that's face weakness. A stands for arm weakness. S for speech slurring, and T stands for time, and that is to remind people that this is an emergency.
And as you've said so many times, time is really of the essence, especially in this condition.
Exactly. We need to treat it quickly.
Yeah. All right, Doc.